We're less than 2 months out from the Iowa caucuses, believe it or not. And last night, former President Trump urged his supporters in Iowa to help him seal up the nomination in January, but with a fierce battle underway between two of his rivals, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says he is still that has the best chance to challenge and defeat Donald T, and he says Trump's attacks Augai prove it. Joining us now from Iowa is Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis, the governor of FL. Thanks so much. Governor, I want to start on ISR. President Biden is out with an ad this week. He calls for a two-state solution ultimately even before the October 7th you have cast doubt on President Biden's calls for a two-state solution. How do you think this should end then for the Palestinians? Do you think Israel should occupy the Gaza Strip? What's your view of what comes after Hamas is defeated? Well, I think the fatal flaw with the push for a so-called two-state solution is that the Palestinian Arabs have never embraced Israel's right to exist as a Jewish state. I mean, that ultimately when Israel's made offers into that was the sticking point. And so you don't want a two-state that ends up just being a stepping stone to the destruction of Israel. I don't think that should be contingent on any aid that they pursue that. And I would also note, Jake, for many decades, people I said you're never going to be able to have relations in the middle between Israel and any other Sue unless you had that. And yet we saw under the Trump administration the Abraham Accords, where they were able to make peace with many countries in the middle and probably would have ended up being able to do with Saudi Arab had we not had the October 7th. And now going forward, I think Israel needs to do what it's best to defend themselves. I would note Gaza was not under Israeli occupation. They pulled out in 2006. They uprooted thousands of their own Israeli citizens and forced them to leave the Gaza, and the idea was give the Arabs down there an opportunity to make something, and unfortunately, they turned in Hamas.